The Cascadia rival gets off to a chippy start, Buddle arrives in LA, and Montreal has another hole in their back line. Next on The Daily. Welcome to The Daily. It's Tuesday, February 7th. I'm Andrew Wiebe. This is Simon Borg. Big start yesterday to the MLS preseason. Obviously, Cascadia rivalry getting off to a chippy start.
Yeah, we're talking about Vancouver and Seattle playing their first preseason games, and they came out firing. 10 total cards shown in this game by the referee, including a red card to Jason Banton of Seattle, who went in on a two-footed tackle. But the tackle that made news was the one by Martin Bonjour, the defender from Vancouver, on Mike Facito of the Seattle Sounders. It forced Facito to come out of the game with what they called a puncture wound. Ziggy Schmidt criticized it as a high tackle, so a lot of chippiness.
Yeah, another theme in this game, Sebastian Letou makes his debut for Vancouver.
Yeah, and he played as one of the starters, both teams fielding their starters in the first 45 minutes, and he pointed out after the game, we beat Seattle 1-0 because starters against starters. The teams then put in their subs for the second 45 minutes, and they played an extra 30 on top of that. 120 total, 1-1 is the way it finished.
3 more matches a day in preseason action for MLS teams. Colorado and Chivas going head-to-head at HTC. LA and Portland will do the same, and then New York and FCD will also have a rescheduled match in Cancun. The big arrival in LA this winter was obviously David Beckham, but another player comes in and introduced the media yesterday, Edson Buddle. Maybe not quite talking about how as confident as we would expect them to, talking about, yeah, we're good on paper, but we'll see how this offense comes together.
Yeah, Bruce Arena being very cautious not to fuel the fire about everyone thinking Robbie Keane, Edson Buddle means an avalanche of goals. He wants to see how everything meshes on the field. Edson Buddle, though, he is not putting water on the fire. He's saying that he wants to even do better than he did when he scored 17 goals for the LA Galaxy in his last go-round. But what stood out to us, we interviewed him on Extra Time Radio. He talked extensively about his stint in Europe and what happened there. He said the facilities aren't the best. Don't compare with LA. The soccer on the field sometimes not as good. He was longing for a return.
Buddle is back, but the Galaxy learned yesterday that they're going to lose one of their midfield stalwarts from the last few seasons. Chris Birchall announcing publicly that he will no longer be an MLS player, at least with the LA Galaxy. Yeah,
Birchall announcing it on Twitter via his own Twitter account. But, you know, Bruce Arena and the LA Galaxy weren't waiting around. Birchall went to England looking to land with a club in Europe, and the Galaxy didn't just wait around. So they went and they got Kyle Nakazawa, they got Marcelo Sarvas. So they're set. Kyle Nakazawa's acquisition really looking like the acquisition that moved Birchall out of the picture. But they'll get along without him quite fine.
Well, just weeks into Montreal's opening preseason campaign, they've got a little bit of a hole to fill. Nelson Rivas has not trained in a week, the Colombian center back that they brought in to kind of anchor that defense in the first year. What do you think, Simon? Where's that leading?
It was a big acquisition for them, for that back line, an experienced international player, played in Europe, but we knew about his history of leg injuries, and now we see a thigh issue cropping up here. The Montreal Impact saying that they're still not going to jump to conclusions about a diagnosis and how long he could be out. That's soon to come, but he hasn't trained in a week, and now there are reports up in Montreal from a few outlets saying that he could be out several months. One report saying he could be out until July, which would be a big blow, because Andrew Wenger, he's finishing school through May, and you have this issue with Bobby Burling. They haven't gotten to a contract resolution yet with the defender, so they're a little thin back there.
For complete coverage on the Nelson Rivas situation and all the preseason games going on in MLS today and beyond, stay tuned here to MLSsoccer.com. Also yesterday, if you missed it, Extra Time Radio is on iTunes and Buzzsprout. The guys talked to Eric Soler and Edson Buddle. That's all we have today for The Daily. I'm Andrew Wiebe, Simon Borg, signing out.